that's only 2 more weeks. And that's not enough time. And yet it is, because we're both exhausted.
Now, Artem, sometimes these disagreements bring you guys closer together?
I really do think so. You know, I think it's impossible to keep everything happy and peachy for 10 weeks straight, you know, with a crazy amount of rehearsals and pressure you're getting every single week, go from week to week. So I think it's good to have that type of a moment, because you kind of like going back to the neutral to realize like what's important and what's actually is great about this relationship. And it worked out, because as you've seen, the dance was great and everything worked out for the best after that. So it's definite success.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really important for people to see that real relationships require negotiating and compromise and forgiveness, and sometimes there's tension, and sometimes you have to find your way with each other. It's not a perfect life is not just like gumballs and rainbows all the time. You know, it's real life, and this is real life. And Dancing with the Stars is like all consuming when you're doing it. You're eating, drinking, sleeping it, and you're with your partner in the most intense way, doing something you've never done, learning stuff under heightened amount of pressure. Which continues to grow, and it's a lot, and you have to really have the ability to communicate and work through things. And I think as intense as Artem is, and he is as a choreographer and as a teacher, and he's so detail oriented, which I very much appreciate about him, and probably really would not want to have had any other kind of partner, because I love details and I love that kind of precision. But I'm just as detail oriented and I'm just as intense when it comes to interpersonal relationships. And so he's very demanding. I'm also very demanding. And I'm very demanding that we have to remain connected, that there is no other option for me. And luckily, Artem's okay with that. Like, he really is able to step up and to move off of his point of view and to collaborate, and we are building a beautiful friendship on top of this partnership. So yes, I think it is important for people to see that at home, to see that this is, you know, it's a reality show, but it's also real life. And personally, because I'm an actor, I'm committed to the truth. You know, a lot of people think that good actors are good liars, but actually good actors are great truth tellers. That's what good acting is. Good acting is truth telling. And so I'm committed to that in my life, and that's how I am with my relationships, and that's how I am with everything. So I'm really trying to keep that flowing all the time. I'm not making up a bunch of crap on this show. Like, I'm actually, you're getting Melora. You know, you really are getting Melora, and you're getting Artem, and that makes sense. That there's going to be moments where we're, you know,
I mean, they do pay it off sometimes, and sometimes they don't. Luckily for us, it wasn't really a moment of,
it wasn't a breakdown,
getting like a stuck in a situation, like, okay, we can get out of this. For us, it was actually a moment of, cool, we had this moment, we realized what that is for both of us, and we could easily go and continue, you know, and do better, because we got that moment of realization that this is nothing in compared to what we do. And we're so committed to this that nothing will actually stop from us being able to rehearse and trying to achieve what we're trying to achieve.
And it's not useful for us to be on opposite ends of the spectrum. It's much more efficient for us to be aligned and to be together. And so we both wanted to work really fast to make that happen. And actually that whole argument, which you only saw a tiny little bit of, really the entire thing from start to finish took like 20 minutes. Like, it was like a 15 to 20 minute thing that we really moved through quite well. So I'm really proud of both of us for that, you know? Yeah, it's not that I thought I was going home tonight. I just felt it would be naive to not consider that was a real possibility. And actually there's something very liberating about that, because when you come into something knowing that it might be your last time, it really thrusts you into the present moment. And it makes you feel like, you know, I'm going to live for this particular moment in time. And the reason that I made that little speech that Tyra cut me off about and I shouted over her was because I felt like that helped me have completion in case it was my last night. And it makes me have a much different experience. It made me have a much different experience tonight on the dance floor. And I know next week is going to be the same in the sense that I have now moved beyond my own kind of like limiting, nerves that were things that I had to muscle. I had to really muscle my nerves with all of the incredible experience that I have in the discipline that I have so much discipline. So I can like discipline myself through my nerves, and I can do my relaxation exercises and all those things I've learned. But this was totally different. I didn't have to contend with nerves that way because I knew that I was going to dance full out. I was going to have the full experience of the little 5-year-old that wanted to be a ballerina, and that I wasn't going to allow myself to leave this show without having that 100% from start to finish. I mean, this night from start to finish. And Artem is so, there with me. Like I feel his presence so well, like around me when we're dancing, of course, but just in general. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful night for me. Like, to be honest, I would have been okay going home tonight. I'm really, really, really happy that I didn't, because I really have something really special that we're going to do next week. And yeah, I think that like, I want to go to the end, of course, but I also am like, I'm good with this. This has been an incredible experience. I think Artem and I are both pretty intense. We're both pretty intense people, and we're passionate about doing these dances as well as we can. And we're passionate about our connection and our communication. And yeah, like everything is just that way. So it makes sense that the Paso Doble would be full of that passion and was kind of released. It was something that was released in his incredible choreography and then sort of with where we've come together as friends, the way that we've built our friendship, which all friendships have breakdowns sometimes, and then you build from there. And that can be really beautiful. And I think it has made us stronger as friends and certainly stronger as partners too. I don't like it that there's, potentially only 2 more weeks. That was another thing that like I was really including in my, because Tyra was talking, I don't know if you guys heard, but the last thing I said was like, I love you, Artem. Like, I just love him so much. I love what we've done together. I love what we're making together week after week. I'm going to be really sad because if we get to go to the end, which I really wish and hope we will, that's only 2 more weeks. And that's not enough time. And yet it is, because we're both exhausted.
Caitlin, I don't know if you were able to watch the whole show, but Melora and Artem kind of had a little fight during rehearsals. Yeah. Did that kind of bring you back? And do you remember having those tense conversations with Artem?
Yes. I was sitting in the back, just like grabbing onto my chair, like, oh gosh, I felt triggered. Yes, you really get like into a relationship with people and you butt heads sometimes, and Artem's such a professional and Melora is obviously just doing her best, and sometimes you just get so emotionally drained that you kind of have to have those fights to come back together, get on the same page and go from there. And then look at their dance. After that happened, they crushed that. It was like She was taking out all her aggression in that paso. It worked well for them.